Joining us now, Governor of Virginia, Democrat Terry McAullife. Governor, welcome. Good to have you.
John, great to be back with you, buddy.
Listen, Patrick Wilson's with us. I know you know him well from the Virginian Pilot, and so he's kind of observing. I just want you to be aware of that. Listen, Governor.
Are we doing front page? Are we doing a big front page piece on you?
Yes, well, he's going to put your picture right in the middle of it. That we know that will
sell newspapers. He better put your picture out
that
there.
will increase my ratings, Governor. Hey, first of all, my wife, the Fräulein, and I, and we want to thank you for having us to your happy hour a couple of weeks ago. Thank you so much. We had a great time. Thank you.
Well, it was, we highlight the craft beer industry. As you know, John, we have about 181 craft breweries, huge economic driver, 40 million visitors last year, the Commonwealth, $4 billion of economic activity. So we love to bring them in. We love to have people come. So had some beers, some hot dogs. You couldn't ask for a more perfect afternoon.
Governor, thank you so much for that. We had a wonderful time. I want to get to restoration of rights. I think I'm the only Republican, just me and E.W. Jackson, who are in favor of restoring rights for felons in Virginia so we can help end recidivism, get them back into society. However, according to what the Supreme Court said a month ago, you're supposed to review every one of these individually, and you signed off on 13,000, but then you got sued by Bill Howell, the Speaker of the House, but the judge said, no, you did it the right way. So my question is the 13,000, Governor, that you restored, did you actually look at each of these?
Yeah, so first of all, I think, John, when you say you're the only Republican, you and E.W. Jackson, you'd be surprised how many times I get stopped today by Republicans on the street who say, thank you for doing this. As you know, I think we've had 3 polls. 65, 63, 61% of Virginians support what I did. So, as you know, in this day and age, it's hard to get 65% of people to agree with you. So a vast majority of folks support what I did. And you say, we're just trying to, 40 states had already done it. I mean, goodness gracious. You want people back in. You want them back in society. You're trying to reduce recidivism. I mean, these are all things that go toward what we need to do to bring people back into society. And so now we are going through a process as the Supreme Court. I disagreed strongly with their initial opinion, but we went through a new process. We're now going through that, and we've restored many of those rights, not only 13,000, but many more. I spent 3 hours on Friday afternoon going through it. I'll do more this week. And so we'll get through the process. So the court, the legal issues, it's over. Let's move forward. Let's focus on the economy. And let me say this, John, you probably saw yesterday our unemployment numbers came out. Once again, for our 29th straight month, year-over-year economic activity, we are one of 4 states in America that actually saw significant job growth, 13,100 jobs. We now have the lowest unemployment rate of any major state in the United States of America. And I'm proud, since the start of the administration, 166,600 new jobs here in Virginia.
So I guess our question is, with the number of new jobs, why do we have a $1.5 billion budget deficit? And Chris Stolle on the Appropriations Committee, Dr. Delegate Stolle, is saying that's because payroll taxes are down. So why isn't the new jobs translating into the tax dollars we need to meet the budget?
Two things, and most states are experiencing, I think now 2/3 of the states have now reported in on their numbers. Everybody, Maryland just came in. Their percentage was actually higher. I think I saw Texas this week, $10 billion under. What's happening with the states is it's withholding and sales tax. Withholding is your payroll. And I think what you're seeing in the economy is we are seeing folks retire at higher wages, John. Younger folks are coming in, not at that higher level. A lot of them are working part-time. But the issue for Virginia is we're in a very good position in the sense that it's not an issue of creating jobs. I have right now in Virginia 37,000 jobs open in technology. 17,000 of those jobs, John, are cyber jobs. The starting pay is $88,000. So we have a lot of high-paying jobs, but we're not filling them. And the reason we're not filling them is our education system has not worked to develop the skills to match the jobs of a 21st century economy. That's why we just put $1 billion into education, totally changing how we do high school. We have jobs, and we need to make sure we're filling them so that we're making sure that early on our children are getting STEM skill sets, computer science, code writing, early to match the jobs. And if we don't fill these jobs, John, they're going to go to another state. So we're creating a lot of jobs. We're doing better than, as I say, only 4 states in America are in the position we're in. But the thing that really drives me wild is that we have all these high-paying jobs open, and that's why I've met with the college presidents. I've met with the superintendents of schools saying, you got to get in the game. You need to start changing how we do education. Our skill sets need to match the jobs that exist today. That's why I was proud to put in the first workforce development grant in the country. We've got an industry credential needed. We've identified it. We'll pay 2/3 of that cost to get you through it. I was just in Southwest Virginia the other day on a program that truck drivers, there's 46,000 truck drivers opening. We'll pay 2/3 of the cost. You get that truck driver's license credential. That's worth it to the Commonwealth because then you're immediately going to go out and get a job. So we are working very closely with our folks at the federal level of Washington to bring that money in here to Virginia to help us build what we call the 21st century skilled economy.
Governor, are you in favor of increasing the minimum wage in Virginia?
Well, here's the point. It's not going to change. It's not going to pass through the legislature. And, John, I do think people ought to have a good living wage, but, you know, it's not going to change. We follow, I think it's 27 states. Don't hold me the exact number. We follow whatever the federal standard is. So that's what it is. It's not going to change. But, you know, I'm always for making sure people, you know, can provide for themselves and get their children a quality education.
All right, Governor, let's go to the national campaign. And in Virginia, you're very involved, as everybody knows, with the Hillary Clinton campaign. I'm the co-chair of the Trump campaign. We got a couple of public surveys out. Mary Washington says we're down by 3. The Hampton College poll has us, I think, when I say us, Trump down by 2. We also, Governor, just got an influx of resources and commitment from the Trump campaign in New York after a plea that we made. So we're hiring 35 people. We're opening up 35 offices. I know you've got 300 people, 70 offices, but we're getting there. We also got advertising dollars coming in. What are you going to do if we win?
Well, first of all, I don't want to take that Mary Washington poll because it had my job approval up 10 points. So I'm not going to say anything against that poll with Mary Washington. Mary Washington. Listen, we're working hard here in Virginia. Obviously, I'm spending my time on Virginia. We do have a large field operation. You know, I've been traveling around. We've opened up offices. I mean, we've been building this for a very long time. And I think, you know, and I think this has been the problem with the Trump campaign. And, you know, listen, I'm not in the business of giving you advice, but you did exactly right to get the resources
Thank
here.
you.
It isn't just going out giving a speech. It's identifying voters. It's talking to them constantly. And then, as you know, John, flushing them out on Election Day and getting them to the polls. That's door knocking. It's phone calls. It's a massive operation, which we've spent a lot of time building. I have been surprised that the Trump campaign hasn't done this earlier. Now you're telling me they're doing it. We got 49 days to go. But, you know, whoever wins, listen, I support Hillary. But, you know, listen, elections are elections. Whoever wins, wins. I'm the governor of Virginia, and I'm going to work whoever is the president of the United States. And I'll be clear, both Hillary and Donald Trump, I know them both personally very well. There should be only one state that should get federal assets. That should be Virginia. Forget the other 49 states.
Well, you know, Governor, Mr. Trump is going to win on November 8th, and I'm going to personally recommend that you be selected as Secretary of Commerce. I think you do a fabulous job. What do you think?
Well, thank you. Is there anything we ought to, is there like a dinner or something, John? Is a little wager we might want to have on this?
Yes.
You propose a wager, and I will accept that.
I will do that. We'll propose
dinner at a choice of our restaurants.
The dinner with yourself and the First Lady and myself and the Fräulein. The winner chooses where. How about that?
Perfect. We'll do it, and drinks are included. We're not just getting food. Let me tell you that.
Yes. We'll have to stay over, obviously, if we go up to Richmond. No question about that. We'll do the taxi thing. I don't do Uber because I still support the taxi industry, but that's just me. Whole nother topic. Listen, I'm also predicting Morrissey's going to win mayor of Richmond, and, you know, I'm never wrong about this stuff, Governor.
Well, listen, I support LeVar, but, I mean, listen, it's not my race. I tell the press here, LeVar's got to go out and run his race. I think, you know, LeVar's on TV, Jack Perry's on TV. Anything could happen. But, you know, elections are elections. And, you know, the one thing for me, John, is I don't have to worry about it. You know, I'm not on the ballot, and I'm not going to be back on the ballot. I'm not running for the U.S. Senate. You can only be one term as governor. So, you know, I'm sort of enjoying letting people go out there and do their own campaign. And as I've always said, I'll work with whoever gets elected. We got to move. We got challenges in Virginia. We had sequestration, and as you know, John, a year from this October, sequestration is back. And if the Congress and the president do not get this fixed, damaging, devastating cuts to the Virginia military budget. really going to impact us, obviously, with all the military installations, the largest naval base. So we've got, as good as our economy's doing, I do stay up at night worrying about a year from October. If we get hit again, it'll be much worse than we saw in 11 through 13, where we lost $9.8 billion of direct, not indirect, direct spending. And, so no matter who's at the White House or in the Congress, to me, it's what's in the best interest of Virginia and how do we move this economy forward. That has been my mission from day one.
Hey, Governor, we're almost out of time. Final question. What's going to be your top 2 or 3 priorities going into the 2017 General Assembly session?
Well, one, we got to keep this economy going. And within that, all those great investments we made in STEM and redesigning our high schools and the investments we made on our bond initiative for research for higher education, making sure we work in that, continue to work our veterans piece. I'm very proud. I think we're the best state in America for veterans. We're going to continue to work on all of our different veterans piece, transportation. I am headed right now down to your region. I have a major announcement today at the port today in the region down there, which is great. And then also we're going to talk about the Medicaid expansion, John. I mean, we're going to try again. I just want all your listeners to understand we have forfeited $7.9 billion as of today. It's gone forever. It's our taxpayer money. We get 100% back. We could do this without any obligations to the state financially. So, try to have a common sense conversation. But $7.9 billion is a lot of money that we have forfeited. Virginia taxpayers, that's a lot of money to roll through our economy for hospitals, nurses, doctors, clinics. We have a mental health crisis. We have an opiate crisis. We are forfeiting billions of dollars a year. So we'll see what happens. It is what it is. At the end of the day, the General Assembly's got to make their own decisions. But I do think we could work constructively if people would come together and compromise. That's how you get things done. It's how you do it in business.
All right, we're out of time. I want to thank Governor Terry McAullife for being with us. Thank you so much. This is the John Fredericks Radio.
A nice piece on you.
Oh, well, thank you, and I look forward to you buying an dinner. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy. Bye-bye.